we are lava dragon scrub prem.
Yep.
Okay. So, Amber, I'm going to show you one so you don't get to get mad.
Oh.
So, quick and dirty recap. We did, started the session question of what is the character's opinion on killing others? For Angel and Violet both, it's kind of a justification of like, have you done evil shit? Okay, cool, you did. And then it's for Avery, it's less strictly that and more, did you fuck me personally? And he didn't even they didn't even specifically say fuck me over. They just said fuck me. So there's a bit. I mean, that's an odd wrinkle. And then on to the same question, of course.
Context. I know you got the context because you just.
And yet,
specified.
it's more funny when it's taken literally.
Oh, hold on, I gotta go capture a rogue baby.
Thanks for the back shot. Time for a headshot.
To clarify, he won't immediately resort to killing. He will first put them through unimaginable psychological torture.
Oh man, we ended up Angel's water breaking last session.
Repeat it.
Yeah.
Then he kills.
What did I miss last week when I...
Angel got a couple of new adoptees. The other people that kind of survived ended up going back to the house, and the other people went back to whatever time period they were supposed to go to, because that was what the kids were going to do for their side quest that they needed to work with Timor for. And second of all, what was the other thing that we did? Angel's water broke.
As per usual?
Vinestra said, killed the hag.
I don't
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that. She was there for that.
I checked out once we finished because it was late.
It was late. That session went for 8 hours.
Oh, we get to introduce the new kids though, Joe. I did write all their names down.
Wunderbar.
Burnt the hag hole to the ground.
Oh,
And I believe we also rolled for the ones that you were going to give birth to specifically, or did we just roll for the
I'm a
adoptees?
flattered child, why?
We just rolled for the tiefling. We just rolled for the extra kids.
Gotcha.
Did you manage to resurrect the house materials?
Yes.
Yeah, that was what happened last session.
We still have 3 people to answer the RP question.
Yep.
We're
Good on
catching me up.
good on recaps all the same.
Near the end.
But yeah,
Hold
also
on, Vanessa. We're
recapping.
trying to catch Amber up.
What was the RP question again?
Oh my god.
What is your character's opinion
I
on
didn't
killing others?
I don't care. I know
Others
you're busy.
okay with killing others if it is because they have decided to pick on their friends, essentially. Also, if they're doing evil shit.
I told you, we have a similar criteria. It's a mood.
Bruce is more or less, you need me to kill that thing? Okay.
Okay, so morally reprehensible, previous bed lay, morally reprehensible, bullied my friends, or just point me at the thing I need to kill. Gotcha.
I'm gonna ignore it. You know what you mean. You know what I mean.
I know, I'm giving you shit. Because again, it's funny if it's
He
taken
likes to
literally.
murder his bedfellows. It's fine.
I'm not.
Only his evil bedfellows. Only his evil. It's probably only his evil.
They only die if they
bedfellows.
give him the BBS, Big Black Soul.
Again, yeah, I don't judge good or
Okay.
Or would in this would it be BGC? Big giant cock? Considering we're living in a fantasy realm?
Anyway,
Saying
Zanan.
It was a joke on moral reflection of the soul, not tone of anything else. But I digress. So Valadan was bound onto Nessio. Yes, indeed. Xanon. What is Xanon's opinion on killing others?
Stop it.
might.
Oh, yeah, you might be in the bathroom still.
All right, in which case we'll slingshot around to Venestra's answer to that question.
Child, can you not say you did? Child, no. Hello.
Vinestra said, Vinestra doesn't particularly like killing, but she will do it if needed.
Totally fair.
what about a like situation? Dun 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 dun.
That's what. So you got the other one. Look.
And then on to Xanon if Xanon is free.
Hey, let's just you. Small child of cute. Xanon.
And of course, my brain just pulled together some stupid shit.
Didn't mean to make a me.
Ravik. Sorry.
Her head looked like a demonic being for a second. Wait, my turn.
All right, Dusty wanted a picture of me and her because we were matchies.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that. LR match.
No, you may not have my computer. Don't smile at me like that, you little mischief maker.
I will never understand how other people say you all.
Y'all?
Just no, like someone without a southern.
When they say you all, ugh, sound.
You all need to get your
Y'all
issues
gets
together.
impulsively injected
The
into
baby
my
has learnt inheritance
customer
already
service
and
voice.
knows that computer is hers one day.
It lasts that
Let's
long.
ask the Australian. Do you just negate the all? Like, you just
Y'all
say like, you need to chill out instead of y'all need to chill out.
Or use guys.
You all need to chill out is an actual way of saying things.
Also, you need to chill out can be implied as the royal you, therefore negating the all just completely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you
That would maybe be more of a British question. But Australians might
Just
know
say you need to chill out.
so yes,
It's hilarious
the
that
royal
we're
you.
debating contractions
Okay.
when Angel's water broke at the end of last session.
I mean, this is just another Tuesday. There's
It's just another
Saturday,
Tuesday,
actually.
Joe. Hey, I'm letting you know this Angel thought process. It's just another Tuesday. We're not gonna panic, okay? We're not gonna
nobody
panic,
is even
okay?
batting an eye at this as
TBF,
happens.
it hasn't been 4 days since the previous water break.
True.
See?
Yeah, but magical births are magical. I mean,
She did something
Shits.
stupid. I'm gonna let you know.
A mass
Every time
resurrection on the
Spencer does
scale
something
that she wanted to
stupid.
do, it has consequences. She even had to talk to, I mean, y'all had to talk with a number of gods that are not of Zaria to accomplish it.
I'm letting you know there are consequences for that, and my character is going to face all of the.
Can't wait.
Question. Why does
Terrified.
Angel care if one of her kids dies?
What kind of question is that?
Good question.
I understand that there's like a lot.
DBZ logic.
Oh, Dragon Ball.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, why does she care?
She's not Goku. She's not.
She's not Goku. She's not. She's really not. If anything, she looks at Goku and goes, "You're all horrible."
Yes,
Broodmother
but death
Chi-Chi.
is meaningless.
Exactly.
Oh, but death is
meaningless.
That is not meaningless.
Really could have fooled me.
It's not meaningless. I have to make lots of sacrifices in order to do it. And opening up the portal of my thighs is one of those things.
Although, I mean, like, at least as far as the subject matter of you guys are in excess of level 20, so resurrection magic is far less consequential, at least mechanically speaking. Sure, mechanically speaking.
Not for a deity. It's not unconsequential for a deity because they're burgeoning as a deity.
Again, I did stipulate mechanically speaking, but I digress. So,
Ow. Ow.
ah,
Ow.
how's it feel to be a stiff pillow?
By the way, it's not invalid that she's going to lose one of her children. She's had nightmares about the war where her children die in it.
Which may not be an easily avoided event.
Yep. Considering it's a different child every single dream that she has it, there's only a couple of repeats. It's like seeing your children go to Valhalla early, and her brain is like, I'm 19, I'm just like you, like, I'm totally 29.
You're 21 now, remember? You're 21 now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm 21 now. I just like, I'm finally going to being a baby.
Man, this is mine.
Absolutely.
But I
not.
want to share.
No.
Absolutely not.
I don't
So,
need you up all night. Speaking of which, 2.5 ibuprofen.
while I am praying to all the gods above and below that this migraine dissipates and therefore does not end up shortening the session, as it sometimes has, let's get into the fun stuff.
Ibuprofen.
Like,
Yes.
I know that Vanessa, you're like, well, the death doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm letting you know there are going to be a couple of kids that are not coming back without some work on the other end. So
Yeah.
sacrifices must be
There
made.
are also things that I have in my back pocket for later stages of the campaign that may or may not be able to negate resurrection magic, even regardless of the intervention of gods. So,
I remember. There was something that was supposed to happen during that time period. Oh, it's also having to do with her backstory and the BBEG that we discussed. So, which is even more terrifying.
either way, before we fully get into the RP, Megan,
Yes.
or I should say, Angel, are you feeling
Yeah.
lucky?
Am I feeling lucky? Hold on. I have to find the dice on this bed.
It's just a yes or no question.
Well, I've got to test the luck here, Joe. You don't remember last session?
If you're testing, I'll count that as a no, and you gotta tell me the number you rolled.
Does a 42 do anything for me?
Since this is just numbers as they are, not necessarily, nor will I reveal what exactly it does just yet.
Thank you so much.
Violet,
Nobody had to
are you
give me.
feeling lucky?
Is Violet feeling lucky today? Let's see. Is Violet feeling... Violet rolled a 73.
Again, this is not me asking you to roll. This is just asking for a
I
yes
do
or
this
no.
on purpose because a 42 means I win. The other one is
Avery,
a
are you
question
feeling
of
lucky?
life choices.
Sure.
Hey, little man, get down or I'm gonna come tickle you. Hey, little man. Hey, little man, Ollie. Mr. Ollie, can you get down? Thank you. Good boy.
Okay, Amber is currently MIA. Xanon, are you feeling lucky?
I don't know if Xanon is feeling lucky. I don't even know if Xanon's there.
Xanon, maybe MIA. Vanestra, are you feeling lucky?
Vinestra said, V does not feel lucky as she'll do things on her own.
Okay. We'll wait on Amber to get back for the answers for both Piper and Bruce. But I'll roll exactly what that means, at least later. Which, of course, broad scale, just ahead of time, assuming that the results result in an incomplete number. What do you all think? Should I round up or down?
Ominous, my brain can't take it anymore.
You wanted me to get back to how I used to DM.
No. I don't like the ominousness right now before we even start.
Round A the direction that ends up closer to 69.
Okay, round in the direction of 69. Fine.
Either
I'll
that or
write down.
roll in the way of perfection to 42. I don't care.
Welcome back, Amber.
Sorry, I had to pee.
It's all good. First of all, Piper, are you feeling lucky?
I hate that. She doesn't believe in luck.
Okay. And Bruce, are you
I
feeling
just
lucky?
reluctantly said sure. Just because. Roll the die.
Bruce doesn't know what luck is, but he's just gonna say yes because Angel did probably.
Angel said, sure, why not? But also, what the fuck?
All right, and then is Nesso around as of yet? He might be, I mean, might still be on the can. So that's fine. I will just ask him when he finally arrives again. Either way,
Scaring me. Quit scaring me. My brain can't take it.
that's what I'm here to do.
I go, I know, bookshop.
All right.
In the other room.
Don't need roll 20 right now. What we do need is. No, I'm about to stop hitting for 1.
Hello. How are you? How are you? I asked you first. That's really mature, saying exactly what I say.
Okay, I'm gonna need a calculator.
Leave a little dirt under my pillow for the dirt man.
In case somebody comes to town. For shits and giggles, I may do a Dirt Man one-shot at some point.
Leave a little dirt under my pillow for the dirt man.
So he won't take me down.
Into his lair deep into the mountains. That's where he keeps his dirt.
So,
I don't know what that is.
it's the seat to my chair. I have put a cover on it, so it's colorful.
Very nice.
And I can take it off and watch it.
Woo!
Glad you got your racking chair.
That's my early Mother's Day gift from them, so right now I'm working on the arm.
Okay, currently without necessary input, the result is rounding up, because we're rounding towards 69 or 42 respectively. 32.
We like the number of perfection in life and the liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
And then also, nice.
Nice. My favorite number would be like 77. Or when I roll 100. Because that doesn't happen as often as I would like it.
Should I work on the arms or do the...
Wunderbar.
Just focus on note taking.
Okay, gotta restore the calendar.
Yeah. Now I gotta do the arm of the chair. Gotta figure out how they did this shit. Took me forever to figure out how they did that one.
That didn't take much.
You know what? I gotta go and grab the instructions so I can see how it's supposed to sit on the thing.
How does dates work in this world again?
Yeah, so...
Joe, do you have the calendar put on there yet? Or the days and things?
I don't think I have a tab for
I
that
think so.
information, but... actually...
Seems like something you should have.
I have it in my notebook. Hold on, let me grab my other notebook.
By the way, every month is 28 days long. There are 13 months in a year, and there are 7 days in a week.
It's like when you play Room Factory or Harvest Moon.
Though that was not strictly the inspiration. That was actually a bit of a...
I know!
It's 28 days long.
Yes.
It also means that in terms of variance for holidays and everything else, almost without exception, they will always land on the same day of the year and same day of the week.
What else did you say after you said it?
Which actually, that means that if my math is right, because of the vacationing and what have you, as well as the initial couple of days or week away for the kids' birthdays. Yeah, today would be the 14th of Atticast.
Atticast?
Atticast is the month. Atticaast. Atticast 14th, the second day of the Festival of Knowledge.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd be a Sunday.
It would be good to have all of this down so I can copy.
Sure thing. It will also include moon phases, among a few other things. But actually, what I can do here is
I can
grab the file and I can
him.
grab the Donjon Bin site so that you guys can access it that way.
Joe, I can just literally write it out for him.
It's not just about right now. I just feel like some of this information needs to be available for reference for new players.
Joe, can we get, I'll message him the list for the weekdays and the months.
Sure, I'm actually
let's go ahead and get started.
I'm going to heavily simplify this really quick.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go so far off. I just wanted to start taking notes and Avery would label each page with a day.
Let me go ahead and throw that into... We'll throw that in. We'll throw that into hard rules just for now. Actually, yeah, I'll throw it into general for now, and eventually, if I can figure out a way to program it, I will make it public stuff. If you download the JSON, you can do a restore from file function in the Fantasy Calendar generator, and it will give you all the info.
Interesting. Okay.
It'll also give you at least a rough idea of also what each of the moons' names are, because it'll be, you can just hover over the moons, what phases they're supposed to be in, a bunch of other stuff. It won't give you in-depth information about events that are on the calendar, but it'll show you at least what they are named. If people want an excuse to get a little bit more understanding for the world, I'm happy to provide.
Are we ready to get into it, Joe?
Yes. Scroll back up a wee little bit.
Oh, this is hard. My body just tried to destroy it.
Sounds like a you problem. Be careful, though.
Oh no, it was more or less it decided to hiccup, burp, and do something else. I just had a full lung spasm. Okay.
So yesterday, essentially what amounted to be the sort of mass birthday celebration for a lot of the kids. As well as then what ended up being due to some time freezing shit.
No, we had 2 days in between that in the other space.
Okay, right. So you celebrated.
So it's a new day.
Yeah. So yeah, still Jorash 14th. I'm just. Yeah. Okay. So you did start the birthday ahead of the festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your birthday would have been on the 7th. So they were born on 7/7. I don't know how you got off that
Am I
far.
messing up my own dates? Okay, so then after the 7th,
Yes.
there were 2 days, so it's the 10th. Whoops.
Oh, Nessa's back.
Welcome in, Nessie.
You okay, dude?
I'm better now.
Yeah, I do too. I do too after a toilet break.
Which, funny enough, as the 10th, all 3 moons will be in a crescent. All 3. That'd be fun. Wait, sorry. Nope. Opposite crescent. They'll all be gibbous.
Oh,
Great, awesome,
I'm so
Joe.
stealing that meme. Thank
Apologies, my good bitch, but what seems to be the fuck? They're all gibbous.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. My neck is stiff.
I thought you would continue.
So, real quick session question for you, Neseo, as we of course divvy out the dice and everything. How does Xanon feel about killing people?
I would say he's okay with it if it helps people, and he would encourage it if they're evil.
Fair enough. Okay, everybody gets their inspiration die for the recaps, and of course for, well,
The session question.
and also real quick for me, specifically for the character of Xanon, but in general, Neseo, since you have one character, are you feeling lucky?
Not particularly.
Okay, in which case I don't roll for you. Alrighty. Means the total remains 32. So,
Not Vanessa or anything.
we already essentially got the recap and everything nailed down and solidified, so, with that in mind, Angel,
Great, hi.
remind me exactly, specifically, physically, where you were when once again the dam burst forth. In game, about 4 days since the last time you did it.
Silent. We don't need to deal with that.
The pop and the wetness.
There's a pop and a gush. It's one of those moments. She was okay. She had just put the new kids down to sleep,
Yeah.
which we were gonna get introduced this day at the beginning, and then she would just finally lay down, and she's like, "Okay, Nick, we can relax now." And just like lays down, and then it's like,
Nope. Not
"I
today,
just
bitch.
cleaned these sheets."
Laying down is but a luxury that you will not be afforded.
You're not allowed nice things, apparently.
She looks over at Nick. "We just cleaned these bed sheets. We just cleaned this bed stuff. We just did this.
Yeah, we did. Which, notably,
We only did it because you made it a mess."
usually there's a bit of a splash, a bit of a trickle of wetness. Notably here, it was less that and more like a flood of water and immediately a sense of something with mass just splattering.
I'm sorry, what?
No.
She dropped a water balloon from her pussy?
Dropped a
Essentially.
snack.
Vinestra said, "Baby cannon."
She dropped a snack. The baby's still in the sack.
That's not. Oh yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. That is one of my biggest fears.
As I just
I
realized,
know, but when it
for my own
it
sake,
is-
to recharge my brain yesterday, I maxed out my music volume. And I just went straight into that when I decided to press yes on the music, and I got my ears blasted for a moment there. So, which for the stream, music is always maxed out. It's just, for my
I'm letting
audio
you know,
imagery.
she was all cozy with her nightgown on and the whole thing, and she just put her hair in a bonnet. The whole jam.
Curly hair and bonnets.
She brushed her teeth. She was ready to go to bed.
Nah.
No, bro.
No, bro.
And with that sort of thud of mass and a clear sort of splattering sound, as you look down to see what your body ejected.
It would have been into my sheets. Because it wouldn't have gotten that far.
Yeah.
A long bed.
And with that kind of splat against fabric, it's got to have some mass. Looking down at it, you feel your vision immediately twist, as it does not look strictly organic. It does not look strictly lively. It does not look made of flesh. It looks like a slimy pocket of nebula, stars, and space have been ejected from your body.
We've done this before.
As it seems to sink further into the sheets and expand outward like a growing and spreading. I don't want to say infection, necessarily, but like a, it's the closest thing, at least to where my brain can equate it in game mechanics. Something arrives on the field and starts growing rapidly. To the extent where suddenly the room begins to feel rapidly cold and vacuous, as if you are being pulled toward a source of gravity.
Hey, scared stuff?
I need you and Nicodemus to roll me dexterity or strength saving throws to either try and dodge out of the way or grab a hold of something. I will say, in your case, Angel, because your body is actively contracting, you have disadvantage.
Okay. Well, with a 19 in my disadvantage, let me see what my second die is. Hold on.
The starlight rapidly spreads over the walls, over the floor, begins to overtake every wooden fiber and tile. As each of you, starting to bed down for the night as you are, snap open your eyes with sudden instinct of something strange occurring, as you can even see bleeding through your walls. Starlight and space.
23, Joe. 23.
23, okay. As all of you also bear witness to this, I need everybody else, additionally, to roll me strength or dexterity saves to either try and avoid this spreading space or hold
my
on to
muscles
something.
able to hold in the next kid. Are my muscles able to hold in the next kid before they get pulled through a nebula?
Squeeze.
You feel as much that gravity between your legs as you do from what has fallen. That said, the 23 does allow you to somewhat clench up.
Need a more definitive. Can I roll a second roll, please? I need to be able to close my legs.
Okay. In the effort to actively try and prevent whatever the hell is happening from allowing a child to fall into it, go ahead and give me a con save.
Thank you.
Hypers, 19 plus 5, so
I'm gonna take that 20. It is a natural 20
Vinestra
DM.
said, what save was it?
Strength or dexterity to either hold on to something or try and avoid it. As I'm getting a fucking phone call. Great timing.
Well, they need to know that they're not supposed to call at this time period.
Emergency. Emergencies wait for no man.
What?
Dex or athletics, whichever is better for you. Or strength.
Strength or dex?
Save. Strength save.
32.
I feel like it did shit. Bruce got a 7 total.
Violet.
Hi, Bruce.
I'm letting you know, Violet didn't do so great. We got like a 10. Violet, well, actually, her strength is pretty great, so let me see what added bonus.
Those are barbarians.
But would Violet be tied up?
You know, after that fight, that might have been one of those boner moments of it's definitely a fighting boner.
Battle boner.
Mm-hmm. But it would be a woman battle boner.
Lady boner not gone.
I'm letting you know, Halcyon might be tied up. And not because he wanted to get tied up, because Violet did something stupid. It is just like, I'm gonna try this.
The return of the lady boner with a vengeance.
Yeah, really. I'm letting you know that this will turn the table on Violet's like plans of having him tied up. This would have been the moment of Violet's finally going to bed after drinking a couple of rounds.
So unfortunately, while restrained, you will automatically fail a dexterity saving throw. That said, a strength saving throw to hold on to something is different.
I'm gonna repeat this, Joe. You missed it. Violet tried to turn the tables on Halcyon for the first time. I don't think that's gonna go well because he doesn't like restraints. So
No, he does not.
we're gonna see how this goes, and I think this throws off her plan. Okay.
So, by Bruce, he rolled a 7.
7 total. Okay.
Sorry, Bruce is the one that when he rolled low, I just.
That means he's just gonna hit a wall somewhere. He's gonna hit a wall somewhere. He's gonna get pulled into whichever wall is right.
He's in your Nicholas. He's the nanny.
Yes, but he's not gonna get pulled out of the Nicholas. He's going to get pulled into a wall somewhere wherever
Vinestra
he's sitting with the kids.
He's going to the Russian space program.
No. No. We're not letting him die in 60 days in space.
To be the first
not.
dog in space.
Nope. No.
No,
That is
that's
the
all right.
saddest story.
Nah,
No
Bruce just
trauma.
becomes Cosmo.
We already have a Cosmo.
Never in my life have I
Normal
ever been
Cosmo.
called a bad dog.
Do you want a nickel, Cosmo? I got a nickel, and I named it. What was it? I found a nickel, and I named it Kevin.
Cosmo is like an OP Marvel dog.
Okay, so
No,
for
I'm talking about Cosmo from Timmy is an average kid that no one understands.
okay, so for everybody that got below a 19, you get pulled into this.
He's in there. He's still in the necklace. It's just like him going like.
There's a reason that I have this up as a backdrop.
I thought I was gonna have a nightmare about this creature, not me get pulled through a hole through my hoo-ha to this creature.
Something happens in reaction to enough chaos that Angel produces. It's not always a negative thing, but something will happen. The universe is often a fickle scale. So, who got below a 19?
Bruce,
Bruce?
Violet.
Okay.
Violet rolled like a literal 15. It was literally like I that's why I imagine she's like trying to tie up Halcyon. He's half asleep, and then it's just gonna go horribly because he's gonna realize that she.
You're like, what?
Okay.
23.
23.
I rolled well for once.
Right on. Okay.
Danny? Is there a Xanon present?
See ya.
I'm here.
What did you get for your
roll?
strength or dexterity saving throw?
See, Xanon is 19 total. And
So it just
Ravik
makes
is 24.
Both make it. Okay, so with the exception of Violet and Bruce, the rest of you essentially managed to pin yourselves or essentially anchor yourselves to the furniture that you have present in your rooms, staring down into this essentially universal nebula that's been painted onto the interior walls and floor, actively having some kind of physical draw and presence. before you, as you all see, even though you can't really see into the other rooms, suddenly, Angel, Nicodemus, Violet, Halcyon, and Bruce falling through that void, far more distant within it than they should be, physically speaking.
You said that we weren't falling if we rolled over it.
If you got below the 19.
We didn't get below 19.
Okay, I thought you said you...
Violet
So is
did.
Bruce the only one that failed?
Violet is the only one that rolled it, and Violet basically was already halfway tied to the furniture, so she rolled 15 total.
So Violet and Bruce fall in. As Angel and Nick, you guys are the epicenter of this, but as you all fall in, well, at least for those of you that do fall in, and those in a further backdrop witnessing this, this nebula swirls around you. There's an intense hello. God bless it. Micah, nope. Close the door. Close the door. Hold on.
Why did they let him in?
Great
You
timing.
need to handle that, please.
Yeah.
BRB, everybody. Shit happened that I did not anticipate, nor really expected, nor was really warned about, but I digress. Because if I focus on it, it's a slippery slope. So,
Is this an actual book I can get? I need to see if they can get this book. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Please tell me this is a thing I can get. They have it! A Barnyard Tale of Love.
Vinestra said, "Welcome back, Joe."
yeah. As Violet, you, and Bruce begin to fall through this void, Angel, as you stare down into this nebula, you find that you are focusing most strongly on the dark spaces between. Whispers endlessly that seem to absorb the sounds around them, the light itself absorbing... Sorry, the void itself absorbing the lights around it, making the nebula in stark contrast and heavy detail. The whispers, endless and ceaseless from your maintained distance from it. For those outside and witnessing this, including Angel, I need you to roll me perception checks to see if you can understand what's happening. For Bruce and for Violet, I need you to roll me con saves to not get overwhelmed with how loud it is.
Do I get a disadvantage being a doggo?
They both are, so yeah.
Vinestra said, "The
Muted
noise
you.
pleases Slan."
I need to get. What kind of save do I need to not get overwhelmed?
Con saves.
Okay.
My perception.
So
6 plus 9 for con. Or 6 plus 3 for con. Jesus. I can't read. And then Piper's 13 plus 13. Perception.
Violet rolled a 23.
Okay, Violet, you manage not to be overwhelmed. Bruce, it is loud enough with constant celestial chanting that eventually it turns from sing-song as yelling and overwhelming as it is to just tinnitus. You hear nothing but ringing now.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with that's the 17 for Angel, so her con save is a 20.
I'm gonna roll a d6 for you, Bruce, actually.
Oh, great.
And I'm rolling the other d6 for multiplier.
Oh, God.
It's a 29 for Angel.
Okay, Bruce, you are deafened for the next 8 hours.
Great.
29 for Angel for whatever I needed to roll for Angel. Is
So
it
that's
perception?
perception for everybody who's managed not to fall into this, to hear kind of what the hell the
That'd be
chanting even
7,
is.
yeah.
For those that understand Celestial anyway, or at least for those to be able to at least distinguish the sounds.
I rolled 8.
18. Okay, great. Angel for her perception.
29.
Okay.
23 for
Venestra
Piper.
and Xenon, 23 for Piper.
On high school,
And also a mirror for shits and or giggles.
What are we perceiving?
The chanting in this void that you are witnessing before you. Also, apparently, thank you, Pilar, for the follow. I didn't notice because we don't have notifications set up. Sorry. Hi. Need to fix that, but I digress.
Vinestra said, 31.
31, okay.
I rolled a 14, but I also speak Celestial.
14, okay. So for those that understand Celestial as a language, your DC is significantly lower. Otherwise, for those that don't, you are at least able to hear what is being repeated ad nauseum.
Piper knows Celestial. Is that a 26?
Great. Okay.
As do Vi.
So, as far as the general yelling match, it seems like you are getting assault. As far as the almost celestial yelling that is going on, for those of you that can hear, even those that don't understand celestial, you realize within this falling nebulous void, it is coming from two sources that are actively almost in argument with each other. One of which sounds like it is almost bright and intense, and with every shout, the lights of the nebula in this space and the stars are growing more intense with every syllable of their with every syllable of their chant. And the other voices deepen the darkness of the nebula, the voices themselves each in conflict with each other. Wherein, for those who managed to hear this, DC was 16. For those that manage to hear and understand this and understand Celestial, you can hear from the voices that are from the stars and from the nebula.
Okay.
You Celisari have already been abandoned by her. Your calling and culling rejected. We will rise through her as guardians. You are not to be met. It is not your challenge to make. And it is repeating in sort of a looping chorus in a sing-song fashion, as Celestial often does. And the interesting thing with the timbre from at least these supposed Celisari, as dark and rhythmic and entropic as it sounds remarkably similar to how Elkuv used to sound.
So, yeah, but the other voice, what is the other voice? Did I know the other voice?
The other voice, you don't know it in terms of strict familiarity of like knowing the voice of your own children. However, there's a timbre and an accent that you know instinctively that you've already had through a number of your other children that seem to have a more how do I put this, almost Nordic aspect to their celestial origin. It sounds aggressive, it sounds militant, it has that sort of almost Norwegian twinge to it. And as these voices reach a fever pitch and get louder and louder, Bruce, you're just fucked out of hearing at this point.
So what's happening? What are they arguing about? What's going on?
You have...
This is coming out of my hoo-ha. Please help me.
In a nutshell, for those that can hear this, they are arguing over who's going to get born out of Angel. These conscious celestial forces are arguing over who's going to climb out of her.
Oh my god. So dumb.
Piper yells into the void in Celestial. I can flip a fucking coin if that's what you want!
Roll me.
You're all beautiful. We're gonna having a moment. We're gonna have a moment. You're all beautiful. Mommy loves you.
As you yell that into the void, Piper, a wave of force blasts outward in your direction. I need you to roll me a dex save.
I'm letting
That
you know.
very much
Mommy
in
loves
raw
you.
celestial essence basically sounds like don't interrupt.
I'm letting
That is
Amy, can I do
an
this?
18 plus. So that's Bruce's. I don't. What? 18 plus 5.
Later.
18 plus 5, 23. Okay. You manage to nimbly avoid it as you feel your wall crack even behind you as this sort of void and star-like essence has essentially painted over it. And as all of
I
these...
mean the tree. It's a tree.
Yeah.
She sits in a tree. It doesn't even hurt my grandmother. It's literally the tree. The tree goes, ow!
It goes,
Ew! Oh! There, make that sound my tree mates. Nuh-uh! No! Not allowed.
So, Angel's gonna look at. She's gonna put her hand out. Shh. Mommy can now hear you arguing. It's probably not a good thing that I can hear you argue.
as you whisper through, that ripples through, and the disagreement continues to carry over and ripple past each of your ears before, as it finally starts getting loud for the rest of you that can hear it, you watch Nick double over alongside you. As the void disappears and gives way to nothing but bright nebula, and then the nebula also itself then gives away, and before Bruce and Violet, you are falling through essentially what will suddenly be nothing but naught. You are both hoisted up in angry and aggressive disagreement and disagreeing stares toward each other, a being covered in blackened, sort of spiked armor with celestials traced across a cosmic body, and on the other side, staring directly into the eyes of this creature with just as much animosity and almost like a preemptive sibling rivalry and disagreement, a Valkyrie. Before that void dissipates, Violet, you are violently shunted back to your bed as Halcyon catches you after having finally shunted off the ropes that you essentially tried to turn the tables on him with. And then, Bruce, you are promptly caught by the wall.
I'm in their room. I'm in Angel's room now.
She's gonna get really close right now. She goes, Mommy can hear you. If Mommy can hear you,
Angel, give me one more con save.
I need you to go.
Yeah.
I'm holding on for dear life. This is 16 plus my normal con save, which is the plus 10 for my cons. 26 to my con.
Yeah, Nick got a natural 7. So, suddenly bursting forth from both you and Nick, as now there are walls between the rest of you and what you just witnessed, as bizarre and strange as it was. In twin pairs, Angel, you produce an infantile Valkyrie, still wearing armor, though baby-sized.
Oh my god. I is baby.
And a fully adult and battle-ready Valkyrie.
Hold on. Female, so it's a female. Female Valkyries are female. Yes,
Valkyrie by
yes.
default are female, yes. Acheron would be the male equivalent.
I should have had an Akron at some point. Oh, I have Akron.
Meat Acheron specifically. The drinkers!
No, it's not the only ones I have. I have the ones with helmets, but they're different now. We're gonna change them.
Also true.
Yeah, they look like phalanx.
That's hilarious.
Joe. So everyone in the house had to make a save to not get sucked in, right?
Yeah.
So, does Aiko make that?
She made it.
She made it. That's what I think Joe said that.
Yeah.
So
Microphone might have
now
been a bitch.
What's the other one? This is a very angry small being.
As then produced from Nicodemus, both in an infantile but still wearing its almost cosmic black rock-like armor in infantile sizing, and an adult variant also spitting out with it a pair of Celisari.
Better so sorry.
Angel, I
They
will
look
copy
like-
the image
they
and
look-
send it to you.
Okay, so I have a question. That's not the only child I have coming out of me. I'm holding back contractions right now. That was one of the things we were trying to do.
Not supposed to do that. That's not a good idea.
That's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck in a minute.
You're gonna have some physical consequences. And
Does
Bruce
the
is
void
now just-
close? Does the void close so I can sit down?
The void is gone.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there we go.
I'm going to drop down and open my legs immediately because I know that the next wave is going to hit me.
Not Bruce, just kind of.
It's worth a
Well,
shot to find out if it
thank you.
does work, Vanestra.
He's like trying not to freak out.
First of all, as you are displayed with apparently these, at least based on their own argument, cosmic polar opposites, you feel finally one last burst.
Oh, I still had that big thing that was supposed to come out.
Yeah, of raw, overwhelming pain as you feel your entire body twitch.
I've never had this happen in my life, and then I'm like, the first time that she's like literally grist. I'm literally like, she probably breaks Nick's hand.
As you reach over and start to break Nick's hand, the moment you feel that bone snap, you feel part of your pain transfer into and become shared with him. In this moment, you feel your minds conjoin in a way that that telepathy does not provide, as if the two of you are not only sharing this active experience, but almost in
person.
essence sharing personage.
Well, that's the closest you can be one with each other as you can
It
get.
sucks. It sucks. And like, there's a thought process. You can first time for the first time hear Angel saying, "This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Sucks major doggy balls."
And this begins to brighten the room that you are in as the brightness begins to spread throughout the halls of the castle and building, to the extent that
Piper's
that is
coming
at
out at the
least
same
bright
time.
enough to be able to be seen under the cracks of each of your doors, to the point where it's as if daylight has spread within, and then itself gotten overwhelming. I need everybody to roll me one last con save to not be blinded. Bruce is already deaf. We don't need him to hell and kill her.
Vinestra said,
There are
V
two.
is going to wear welding glasses and enter.
That will give you
There are
advantage.
two. There are two. Piper's comes out at the same time.
I'm not Pregante. 17
No.
plus 5.
The ability that you gave me to go with this huge energy surge.
Yeah.
This is the first thing that Angel and Piper are producing. It's a rose child.
Okay, so Piper got a 17 plus a 4. And Bruce got a whopping 4 plus a 3.
Ah, Bruce. Do you want to use your
I
inspiration die?
don't know.
I don't have any.
I have some. I'll give him one. I'll give him one. Go.
DC
Say
18 for
Bruce.
this, by the way.
I need to
34.
roll for
That was worse. That was a 1.
It's just fine.
It's a 1 plus a
I don't know,
3.
what kind of sensors he uses to see.
For the sake of this and for the sake of how mechanical creatures are treated with player characters, we'll treat them similarly to normal eyes in this instance. Excuse me. But, hey,
Bruce rolled a
those
nat
killer
1.
sensors can be replaced. Did I already ask if you wanted to use your inspiration die?
Megan gave me one, but I'm out of inspiration.
I'll give him another one.
Another one.
Another one.
one.
That's a 2. At least it's not gonna incur an injury. It's a 2 plus a 3.
There you go. There you go. If it's a 2, it doesn't
Okay.
incur an injury. It's just gonna
It's
be
not
blinded
gonna
for a
deal
holiday.
damage, except to your retina.
For like a whole day, right? A whole day?
Well, he's deaf for 8 hours. I'll have to roll to see how long he's also blinded.
Oh, he's gonna be Helen Keller.
Yeah.
Vinestra said, Amira's also gonna cast the Gate Seal spell. 'Cause I am very curious.
Was it like a rose tea?
You're going to do that without Angel's You're gonna try that. You do know that there's an overwhelming God presence that's not going to allow that, right?
Well,
How long is Bruce Helen Keller for?
so
thing at a
he's,
time.
he's
True,
only going to
do
be
it then.
one thing at a time. First, Bruce is only deaf for 8 hours. He is, however, blind for 20.
Poor Bruce. He was in the room, that's why. He got a front row seat.
I have a question with that gate. If she tries that gate spell, does it just get flooded against the wall, considering exactly what that situation would be?
In attempting the gate spell, here's what I say. Here's what I'm saying happens. It prevents explosive damage from occurring with this next stage of birth.
Oh.
That's not the only one. There are two. Two are being born at the same time. Those.
I'm getting to that.
Ozakis.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that.
I just remembered because I almost forgot that I have hyper.
I'm getting to that.
Looks like. Oh wait, it's in my note.
I text and message you. I forgot what kind of was.
It was a rose.
He just rolled a 14 against.
Rose
It was a
chamomile tea.
Yeah, it was,
It was
the
rose
combination.
chamomile tea orchid.
14 against blinding for Aegis or for Avery?
Avery got 24.
Cool, Aegis. 4 hours. Aegis has 4 hours of blindness. As you can hear his ocular sensors just briefly short.
Sorry, it's funny. It's not funny that he got hurt, but it's just like hearing the fizzy noise. You're like, shit.
Oh, it's fine. He'll just use my eyes. It's fine.
Aegis opens his mouth and a small record materializes out of the ether and starts playing Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence.
That would
No.
be awesome if he had something to produce sound with. Spells.
I know, I'm joking, but still, Hello Darkness, my old friend, is fitting for someone who just went blind. So, also, answer to that question in the chat real quick, as I want to make sure that I'm doing the right one here.
It was rose chamomile hybrid seed.
Right.
It was to keep the baby in a good state because we had an option of it being evil or good. So, and it was just pure raw energy.
It was to chill it the fuck out.
In terms of the pure
Because it
raw
was going
energy,
all over Angel's body, and she was like,
this might surprise you how I'm allowing this to manifest. So the first thing to come out, oddly, are Piper's spawn. A pair of twin fairies who automatically are immediately producing a very intense calming aura, both with the aroma of incense and fresh brewed tea flooding out of you.
one is a chamomile orchid, and the other one is a rose.
Rose tea is a thing.
Yeah. Smells like an herbal shop.
A little bit. As that intense light that in some cases temporarily blinded some of you and just very nearly blinded others. You feel an impulse and a shockwave cascade out of you that is quickly blocked via some arcane placement by Venestra, who is walking in with welding goggles, shielding herself from the intense bright light, as a very familiar rose-tinted, glowing, eggshell-like aura enraptures both you and Nicodemus, whom are currently very tightly gripping each other's hands. That immense energy of possibility between the two of you, forming a very familiar construction within a memory of a past life, looping on itself over and over and over and over and over, and constructing and reconstructing and deconstructing and reconstructing before that raw energy and raw potential decidedly and decisively feels celestial, feels divine. Another shockwave held at bay by that spell work. What floods forth from you as that egg of energy shatters, cracks, and breaks. First is ethereal, rose-tinted, brilliantly magically pink, a massive dragon that then consolidates and shrinks itself down to a small, infantile form, currently holding its own hands and then splitting, holding a pair of hands, splitting further into a pair of bodies, growing, shrinking, indecisive as to whether it wants to be young or old.
Do what makes you comfortable.
In this moment of possibility and indecision, it feels like an eternity, seconds stretching on into minutes and hours, before you finally feel between the two bodies a matched heartbeat. That does not echo like a mortal one would, as it seems to echo through the room, through the air, through the stars. An old idea at the very edge of these forms. A first want. A first desire. A want for a child from a first lover. And a body that could not produce it. A body that could not even handle the idea. Forth pours that possibility and that intensity, and this celestial being is as much celestial in its makeup as it is mortal in its need and its idea and its will. What is formed here is not a celestial or angel of any definition that you know, nor is it mortal. It is as much divine as you and Nicodemus are, as Amoris once was, and yet as mortal as you were before you understood it. What now lays entwined together before you, male and female, a perfect mixture of your appearances, is not an angel, and it is not a mortal. It is a mortal and God. Twin demigods.
Does one look like him? Does one look like him?
Decisively like him. Though perhaps with your potential for verticality. The other decisively like you, with his potential for verticality.
Omora's first lover was murder.
Yes.
Ooh. Did Bruce get hit by eggshell shrapnel?
That would make sense.
Bruce is safely and harmlessly pinned against the wall by a large chunk of it as it's dissipating. Though still unable to quite see or hear any of it, you are rendered unable to sense and pinned to a wall. You know it's a wall because of how it feels.
You have scary eyeballs right now.
Between the shared appearance of you and Nicodemus, there is a twinge of Henniger between the two, their nails colored like rust, their eyes and hair, with a dark intensity and potential for something dangerous. Yet still, it is not but potential, to be defined more by how they are nurtured than how they accept their own nature.
But it's not fair if I don't actually invite him to meet them. Ugh. She looks at the rose fairy twin. She's like, "You two can sit down here. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Mommy loves you."
They look at you, projecting forth this aura, still kind of formless and trying to stitch together sort of a physical appearance on their bodies. Between the sort of rose and chamomile essence that they have on them, leaves are forming where hair should be. On their skin, they're looking between you and Nick, trying to decide which tone they should be, and they end up both between them in that confusion, sort of a vitiligo between your skin tone and Nick's.
He actually shows them what their original flowers look like, so they have something to actually use that will actually.
In their raw, because some teas have caffeine, and naturally because it's from Piper, in their raw and admittedly a little bit caffeine-fueled confusion, it simply adds a third layer of vitiligo, where in the colors of their flowers, it adds that third tone to their skin, and shows up in their eyes.
So, Mommy's gonna show you the flowers that you actually go with, so it's easier considering what you came from is more seasonal than I am as a person.
They turn their heads in complete confusion. I will say, even with your passive insight, these are infants operating on raw and complete impulse, and they have no understanding of what the hell you're saying.
She's going to show them through their minds. She's going to show one of them a rose and one of them a bleeding heart's orchid, which was their original imprint.
The leaves in their hairs take on the form of those petals.
There we go. That should calm them down.
Bruce is just on the floor. What just happened?
Quite a harrowing experience to be speaking and not hearing your own voice.
She looks at the Silasari. "I love you both. I need you to do me a big favor and get me some diapers." She looks at the adults. "And get clothes on." Y'all are both wearing clothes. Oh my god, never mind.
Even the babies, again, are wearing just infantile versions of their respective armors. It is adorable and confusing.
But when babies are born, they usually
tar poop.
Usually.
Poop
in their first couple of hours. So
that's the next couple of hours problem.
Oh my god, it's not. Angel's gonna say it's not.
Within the next 2 hours, which means anytime between now and 2 hours.
She looks over at Nick and she's like, "We need to call him Nigger, because this is their baby, and it finally came out."
One thing notable also between the Valkyrie and the Silasari, unlike normal spawn from you and Nick, they do not, at least at the moment, share your physical traits. They seem to have just thrust themselves through the raw ether out of your cooch.
It's fine. I'm not. It's like my Angel's like, I'm not perturbed by that. This has happened before. We're not perturbed by this. She looks over at Nick. "I need someone to connect with Henniger, because I can't." "Lucian!" Fuck. I know it's a date night. Fuck.
Bruce is just grabbing the wall and just like trying to figure out where the fuck he's at.
Even just the mention of the god of murder's name, Henniker. A lot of you throughout the castle watch as your doorknobs, your hinges, the nails that hold backboards together grow a layer of rust.
Ugh, Grandma's gonna be mad at me.
There's like that anime veins popping out on Avery's head, like, I can't just have a normal day.
As also, unfortunately, Aegis grows a nice new skin tone across his body and finds it very difficult to suddenly move his limbs. And he's just looking at you like, what the fuck?
I'm letting you know that somewhere, when he asked that to the mines, considering Violet and him are still connected because we killed a hag, and Angel's body is unstable, and so is Nick's.
Not because you killed a hag.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
As all of the rust that all of you witness bursts off of all of their metal surfaces, the dust careening away from your rooms and toward Angels, gathering into, at the very least, an avatar of God. Not because of the death of the hag. The wings furl out, rusted, sharp, twisted as they are, because of the life that you brought back.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Consequences of latent energies left behind by Haldesix and gods older still. And you were already waiting with one of mine. I had to do something with the leftover energies. Particularly to hold back an old friend of yours in the process.
You see her face pale for 2 seconds, and then remembering there's kids in the room is like, nope, we're not doing that.
You're lucky it is operating off of raw machine impulse for the moment, because of what you turned it into. But understand, and your brother may have a better understanding of this more than anything else. Shut it for a moment! You are going to listen instead of speak for a moment, and I am going to give you this warning. Ask your brother about the ancient human film, The Terminator.
We know what the Terminator is. There are comics of the Terminator.
Research it heavily, and you may understand what you're dealing with.
Thank you. Not what word did she looks at him like, levity! Dad, levity!
Biff may be along later.
By the way, Piper just goes back to sleep after seeing the wrestling. She's like, fuck this. Goes back to sleep.
I'm letting you know this is the first time she ever does this Tenegrin. Probably the only time she'll ever do it. She reaches back and she smacks him across the face. This is all she ever
Your
wanted.
hand stops midair. I know what she wanted. I feel blessed to be witnessing it. Put aside your anger for how you think I am feeling. I do not show it like normal people do, and I will never. What I am feeling is joyous. However, you are still a fledgling, growing.
Don't rage in front of my newborns. Don't rage in front of my newborns. Don't rage in front of my newborns.
They cannot hear me, nor can they feel me.
Thank you. They can feel my energy. So I'm asking you, if you're going to do this to me, isolate me. Me and Nick, isolate us.
Murder is rarely isolated.
Murder is always isolated.
Is it?
It is very intimate. personal experience.
And love is often a key motivation for murder. A lot of the time.
Why do you think I'm marrying you?
Cute. Anyway.
My suggestion, in hopes of curtailing those that follow my tenets so very closely, expedite that process.
To remain in the neutral sphere because there are too many good gods and to try to balance out the situation. I will take your words under advisement.
What you are all getting into, crashing into, rapidly, will not allow for neutrality much longer. You will all have to pick a side, or make a side.
Now, letting you know, she puts at him. I want you to number the gods. How many good are there to how many neutral? Are there to how many evil?
Not always an even split.
He was always neutral.
I'm not
So we
saying
will
pick a
remain.
side with morality. Pick a side the way mortals do.
I am so confused what you mean.
Can Bruce just at this point, while blindly looking around, just be touching the Henniger avatar? Like, where the fuck am I? At that moment.
You are touching the rust dragon. Roll me a roll me a dex check, just to make sure you don't accidentally
Vinistra
trade your
said,
tinnitus for
Rick Bruce
tinnitus.
now has tetanus.
Tetanus.
He actually has a tetanus shot already, so he should be okay.
5 + 2.
Bruce!
It's
The
not
fuck?
Bruce.
Can we give Bruce a little bit
You
of
need
a
to do that
inspiration die?
routinely.
He does get
Give
his
him a-
vaccine routinely.
So he needs to get an inspiration die and try that again. Just one more time.
Oh god, finally something above a single digit. 16 + 2.
Luckily, you weren't rendered nose blind.
Okay.
And rust has an aroma.
She looks over at him and goes, I need you to be playing with me. The cryptic talk that y'all usually give each other is not working. I
Roll a
have
persuasion check.
just pushed out 2
Gods
children that you
operate
wanted
off
to
of
die.
cryptic speak.
And Bruce at this moment is accidentally kind of like sticking a finger up and like, where the fuck am I?
Does a 20 get me what I need? 20 is 20, 20 plus that's 45.
Natural 20 is a natural 20.
45.
There are conflicts that are growing. Not just in G. Pick a side or make one.
I am working on it.
You only have to ready yourselves for active conflict. Sooner than you
He's
expect.
literally looking at him like I'm letting you know there's super rage at this point, and this is murderous rage.
Good.
My last 2 years have been nothing but fear. I need you to shut your mouth right now and let me deal with some levity today. After watching a hag who'd eaten however many children and both gone through so many things and remembering my own childhood. So I would really like you to not tell me I don't know what's at stake when I dream of the nightmare every night and I have been preparing
I'm
for
not
2
implying
years.
that you don't know. I'm offering a reminder. But fine. He puts a rusted talon to your face. And for the next 48 hours, he's going to strip you of the memory of the incoming conflict to allow you, at least for a moment, joy.
Relax. Relax. Here, take a
Forgive
chill
me.
pill.
2 days from now, you may panic.
It's the
What is
first
also
time Nick
being
has
stripped
been here.
away, and this is being stripped away from Nick as well, Your dream every night of the death of at least one of your children will not occur for the next 48 hours.
It's
Also,
not of one child.
Yeah, I know. Your memories of those dreams have also been temporarily stripped away. However, in that being pulled away, you at least have the knowledge that something terrible is currently beyond your ability to think about, for the sake of granting you some emotional mercy.
Here, take a break. Gives you a Kit Kat. Has Bruce found an eyeball in his poking around to figure out where the fuck he's at?
You eventually paw your way over to Angel's arm, I would say.
I am going to let you know the back blow that he gets for doing that. He gets the fear that Amora felt in her lifetime.
Yeah, given that making people happy isn't strictly what murder does, he naturally gets blowback from doing that.
No, he gets Amora's blowback. Her entire hundreds of years of fear. Because Angel's literally carrying that. Because Nick can't carry that without breaking.
He carries that with ease, given his previous life.
There's probably more. Is there more than he bargained for? Yet he's been.
Take some earned rest, fledgling.
He also, the other thing he gets to feel is the longing that he never knew that she had.
And yet still takes it with stride. Surprisingly with stride.
Ah, he's got a good mask. Gonna crack one. Bruce finally finds Angel. Help!
She heals him and puts him back in the necklace. Go to bed. Go to your room and go to bed.
Go to your room.
As rust, the scent of it, and the divine alike dissipate, the sheer exhaustion from what has occurred. I need everybody to roll me a con save to not immediately give in to the urge to just collapse into your beds.
Angel can't pass out.
Piper was already in bed. As soon as she saw us, like, oh, I'm not deep. I'm going to bed. She just rolls back over. I'm gonna go find my now. Good night.
Another con save.
Yeah.
You know
17 to Angel plus.
Bruce.
He's out.
Oh, 11 plus 3. Yeah, 11 plus 3 for Bruce. He's asleep.
I'm letting you know the first time in 3 years that she actually just starts to cry.
We just revealed you. A couple of other things. Notably, Angel, that you've been stripped of. It is the god of murder, after all. For the next 2 days, you have forgotten the part of your soul that dies as a result of taking a life. And you feel something of that innocence temporarily restored.
You know that's how she restores the innocence, Joe? You do know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying you restored the north.
This isn't making a sound, isn't it? I'm tired.
I'm terrible.
We have to put the babies to bed first.
How about we just hold them?
Or they can just sleep with us.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's just hold them.
She casts prestidigitation into her body.
You find it's already cleaned.
How many babies are doing the rooting reflex of
Understandably, the infantile Celisari and Valkyrie, and almost comedically due to their relative size, the fairies.
You're just like,
She just puts bottles in their mouth and then goes to bed. Setting them up with pillows behind them so they'll be comfy.
As you pass out, those that at least failed their con save, you will find that you have slept in a decent bit. Waking up closer to midday than an early morning than you would initially expect.
Angel's not waking up midday. Are you kidding? Charlotte's out. Early riser.
I don't expect Angel to be sleeping in incidentally.
Nope.
So, all the same, as morning routines are gone over, and Angel, you feel, again, emotionally freed from stress in a way that you haven't in a long time.
Okay, Mommy's gonna say something. We're taking the whole day, 2 days off. 2 days off of school. I want you to tell your friends, your teachers, that we're taking 2 days off just for routine maintenance.
Mental health day.
We're gonna call it routine maintenance.
I will say this, if you allow it.
For the festival?
Partway through that second rest, Angel and Nick slip into a dream that results in a fairly extended one-shot and another campaign in a theme park.
Yay. That explains a lot.
No, we were the Angel and the Nicotine. That one.
They're fully realized, Joe.
Yeah.
It's the thing about dreams. Sometimes you dream yourself in a far greater position than you are when you're awake.
Okay. That's why your brain breaks. Okay, get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Piper,
so...
Piper, when she was sleeping, they don't walk to send her to her court to go guard it.
Time
God
is
damn
often
it, you're
already a little wibbly wobbly anyway.
Question. In the past Amoris symbols, are any of the Amoris people moving towards the direction of where we're at?
Well, you don't exactly have an active track on that.
They have an active track on it. It's like the fucking star in the sky.
I'll roll a percentile on it. Which, by the way,
it's the Star of Bethlehem.
With the pair of Celisari arriving, you do notice that certain constellation formations have grown more intense.
It's a natural 20 DM. I don't know what you're talking about. Things are happening, and I'm really confused.
All the same, as you awaken in the morning, each of you collectively, there seems to be a spike of energy among everybody running the tavern and everybody around, dwarves, staff members included. Not sensual, as Angel is used to, given Amoris' stuff, but it seems just more like a more active morning vigor, as if everybody's had a small injection of caffeine.
It's the children. Calming and
Are the Celisari, is the Celisari and the Valkyrie fighting at each other, glaring at each other across the table at this moment?
They are, given their current company, politely engaging in sibling rivalry, which for the most part is a lot of silent and aggressive body language.
Can she says in Celestial, and she says mentally to them in Celestial, you are both beautiful. I love you both. Can we calm it down for the Firetons, please?
The festival itself will be occurring here in 2 days. Well, actually 3 days. It's on the 13th. Today's the 10th. So.
She looks over at Piper over lunch, considering it's lunchtime.
I was gonna say Piper is one of the ones who slept in.
Yeah, no, it's when I'm letting you know she's looking at, like, as far as looking through the dwarves, and she's looking over the Valkyrie. And I have a question: how are the demigods handling? Are they mid-age? Are they babies perfectly?
They are
we didn't
infants, newborn infants,
So
still looking
we're
around
still
and
in the cry
absorbing the world
Still in
with
the
a
cry
sponge
stage.
and weeping at just how much they're dealing with. Usually a baby's going to be overwhelmed with the small amount of family gathering and like, oh, hey, I have a sibling. You kind of look familiar. And then looking out at the hundreds of siblings they have, you are watching with each passing glance at a new face, just a gear turning toward overstimulation in their brains.
Okay. I'm going to make this easy. Kismet,
Yes.
you have these two for the day.
Okay.
I don't want to see them around anyone, meeting their new siblings. Introduce them one at a time.
Okay.
Small doses.
Cool.
He looks over at the Valkyrie. They're not having any problems for some weird reason. The rest of them are just like freaking out. And the Fae aren't having any problems because they never have problems when they come out for some weird reason.
Now, as a small note.
They're like, this is a Tuesday.
As a small note, by the way. While for the sake of brevity, we've slung-shot this forward, of course, to lunch. For those that have managed to sleep in and otherwise, is there anything special that you guys would have liked to do kind of on your way down to the kitchen, essentially, for this engaged meal?
I'm letting you know
Vinestra
Violet's probably...
said, V is going to be training her 2 mentees.
Yay!
Totally fair.
Given the chance, Avery wants to talk to Angel, possibly get some gold and titanium.
Okay. Then you're gonna meet her at the lunch table.
Piper, in her dreams, was looking for luck.
Looking for your warlock.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. You find her very much in a state of sleeping in, although, actually, given the time of day it is in the Feywild, it's like 4 p.m.
Please tell me that you get to smack her across the head. Please tell me it's like the Gibbs slap. Please.
To be fair, she is a sugar plum fairy. They're generally nocturnal.
Nah.
She might have done the night shift.
Oh, come on. That'd be so funny.
No. Piper's gonna take on her scary archfey which is slowly morphing into Plague Doctor.
Please tell me that she just leans over her and heavy breathing.
Yes. You just start heavy breathing through the bird mask.
Am I really having this dream again? I told you I don't have any bird seed. She turns her head back over.
She's gonna make the mask grow like teeth. Like it's gonna start opening up.
No. You just need to take the mask off and just smile really wide with one of your forms. That's it'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
Just curl over her with all those needle hands. Just do the curl over monkey situation where you're sitting on top of it and look down and just smile at her.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that while taking the mask off while she's still semi-awake.
As she then snaps her eyes open and you watch her eyes roll back. And she just goes rigor stationary for a moment.
I check a pulse. I literally go back to normal when I check.
As you check the pulse, your fingers cave into paper mache as you feel a tap on your shoulder. Does pranking my patron count?
That was good. Okay. Not gonna lie, that was a good. I have a better idea for you, considering you've killed 32 people in my name.
39.
That's cool.
That's a no. That's an absolute no.
You're going to my court. You're going to garden.
Last 7 were accidents.
You're going to my court. You are going to garden.
I'm gonna learn how to garden.
I can't promise that will stop me from being a hazard.
49 weeks of gardening. So if you every time you kill one, it's another week of gardening.
So you're gonna figure it out.
So you either figure it out, or just be a garden fairy.
You watch as her little fairy ear twitches and then kind of flops down behind her head. Does that mean it's 43 weeks now?
Yes.
I blew up something.
She starts having needle hands again, just like this with her.
I'd be terrified of her too.
I didn't know that caffeine was a natural pesticide, and I thought that trying to give Fae coffee to Bug Fae would be hilarious.
Okay. Strict instructions from me, okay? You are only gardening, and while you are gardening, you're also learning from my brother.
The younger one, Cosmo.
From my brother Cosmo, all the things you need to know about coffee. Okay?
Ooh,
Because
53.
he's kind of like
What happened there?
he's the mastermind kind of that.
But you say this. Every time your count gets higher, that's another week of gardening and learning.
57?
Is there a way I could just go and
I've forgotten where I left a bitch.
Can I just do like this? And she's in my court.
Given that you are tapping into her through a dream state right now, yes.
He's a sugar plum fairy.
True. Just right to her, right to my court. Like, shut up, go to work.
And as you do so, you swear you hear the sounds of a beehive slowly dying.
Oh, why did I choose that one? Why?
I'm letting you know that DM, can Angel, because she's like sleeping at this moment, can like for a little bit, she may be at least a little witness. She's like, yeah, you should have picked somebody else.
During a waking discussion, sure. Unfortunately, this is one of the few circumstances where a dream cannot be interceded upon.
Oh, baby. And she's gone.
She's awake
right.
now. Oh my God.
As morning comes, well, and then midday, properly, everybody essentially having lunch, which at the moment is remarkably some incredibly well done banog picanha.
Picanha! Picanha! I love picanha.
She's looking over at Is Avery making a beeline at Angel right now in a focused face?
More like a casual stroll, but yeah.
Does he have pants on?
He did put pants on.
Thank you.
He did get dressed.
I don't care if you just wear pants, but just wear pants.
Shits and giggles, because it's changeling and because there was a whole point made for the wardrobe and everything. What kind of pants is it?
Probably whatever the thematic equivalent of cargo pants is.
Breeches, like large pocketed breeches.
Fair. Also, cargo pants are just a thing as well, because I mean, with
I meant cargo shorts. But yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Given what Avery is, are they cargo shorts or cargo booty shorts?
Oh, come on, Joe.
You need to have at least a little room for the pockets, my man.
True.
He's gonna have at least knee length. That way you can at least hide all the
They
package.
are loose fitting and probably end just above his knee.
That's probably that's girl. That's
Vinistra
girling.
said,
I mean,
pockets can hang out of the shorts.
Also true.
she looks over at Avery. walking straight towards her, and she looks over at Nick. Can you keep the two babies separate? Because they keep trying to pull each other's hair.
Yeah, I'm already on it, love. Last night was a lot.
You know what? Actually, let's delegate this. Let's have Hope take the Valkyrie because she's shiny.
The halfway through that sentence that you mentioned Hope's name, the Valkyrie disappears from Nick's arms.
And let's give the other one to Alkuv because they'll get along well.
Hands it over to Elkuv and...
Or Vocal. His name is Vocal.
No, Mo, my name is Elkuv.
Okay, good.
I told you what my first name was after I was promptly readjusted.
Okay.
Still the name you gave me.
Okay. No, you picked that name. I asked you to pick a name and you said, I don't know, so I picked one for you. Anyways, so, can you take the Celisari away from the Valkyrie?
The Celisari is looking at Elkuv with a look of betrayal.
Bruce he now can hear, but now he is walking out with his dog Tinkerbell, the Tibetan Mastiff, as a guide dog.
Tinker's gonna reach up and heal his ocular nerve for a minute. It's okay. It'll be fine. And she's gonna gently touch him and it's just gonna heal him for what he needs to be healed for.
They can do that?
I can do that, yeah.
Or is the heal spell does that?
Regeneration.
I can do regeneration
heal,
or greater restoration.
Greater restoration, all those will accomplish that.
Lesser restoration.
Lesser, excuse me.
I'm just gonna do one. Both of them work. Greater restoration still works for that too. Just gonna tap it on the side of the head and just be like, "You're a good boy," and then just be like, "Lesser restoration," and just be like, "It's fine. Everything's fine."
In that brief half second before your eyesight comes back, you swear. Never mind, I forgot where my brain was going. I was making a joke.
Where what? I swear what? I need to know!
And my brain lost it. The train of thought just left the track like before it even left the station.
Please tell me there's an Memorial 001.
For the brief half second, you swear you see Rick Astley. There we go.
There you go.
Boo, do, 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 do.
You're okay. You're a good dog. Good dog.
In his breast pocket of his robes, out pops Pocket Bacon, his tiny, tiny 12.
Okay. She hands Pocket Bacon over to Pocket Bacon. There you go, doggo.
By the way, as a note for those that managed to properly hear the exchange from last night. Including the one who was sourced with it. You gain a temporary single use of the ability Celestial Conflict. It's basically a single use spell that can deafen a target for a round. That goes for everybody.
So it's until we use it?
Yeah, that's just in your pocket.
Alright. I delegate the children today. I know I'm probably going to not delegate them for the full day, but it'll be fine. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. She looks over at Nick. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Oh, God. I put her with a demigod. I put her with one of the demigods because that way it will balance.
Halcyon, rubbing his wrists and adjusting to the rope that he had to reject, looks over at Violet. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure we will too. He's just eyeing her with daggers in his eyes.
I'm going to get some food, and then I'm going to promptly find my way back to my room.
You're going to sit here and you're going to eat with me. It's not negotiable.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Angel's gonna look over straight at Avery as he walks up. What can I do you for? She literally has the face that are calming her on her shoulders at this moment.
Remember when you offered to provide some materials?
Yeah.
To a bunk?
What kind of materials would you like?
Yeah, would you mind sparing me few ingots of gold and titanium? I'm from Nestor Fashions. Dating.
We have... I would also ask... Hold on, let me see if he's still working. I'm gonna roll. She looks... There's a man from Mechanus, who is an artificer who works with Mom, Farah. He's here in-house, and he might be able to help you with some of the construction for Aegis. He's a 3-creamy. He looks like a giant bug.
And honestly, how much do you have? Because I would also like to have enough to build the big mech.
The mech is going to take us some time. I think we should at least... I think if I could open the hoard that I have in my pocket, we'd have enough for the mecha, maybe. But I have to figure out where to put the mountain.
I will say one thing, titanium is not a metal that you really have much access to.
I do, actually. It's inside of the hoard that I haven't opened that sits in the copper thing that I haven't opened that was basically supposed to be a mountain that's supposed to go downwards. So I have to decide where to put it.
Right, okay.
I just haven't opened it yet.
Well, I also have yet to ask Sinestro or anyone how much titanium and how much.
Let me ask the 3-queen. Hold on. She's going to kind of do the thing that she used to do to whisper over to Realtar's dad. By any chance, do you know where the 3-queen is right now? She pulls kind of like on her earpiece.
Do I know where the bug is? Well,
I know usually after like a birth, he's extremely inspired and then spends like 3 days in his workshop. So I'm asking if he's in the workshop.
Probably in his workshop, yes.
Did his wife come out of there yet?
No.
How much of the holy water did they steal this morning?
The stores have not gone down.
Okay, so I'm gonna go knock on that door. Follow me if you would, Avery. I need to go check on him considering that they've been at it for a while, so I'm needing to know if they have a spawn being born in that room without my permission or without any type of, like, notice. I would like some notice if they're gonna have babies in the same room with them. That's not okay.
Roger.
She's gonna take him over to, she's gonna take him down a couple of steps to a metal workshop that's like extensive, and it looks like he's putting an entire metro piece together, like a giant car to carry a bunch of people in that's made out of gold. Or it looks like it's made out of gold.
This 3-queen just kind of, chitinous lens and everything just sort of snap to attention, towering very much above you in a lot of respects. Avery just kind of looking down at you with this craned, almost unnervingly jointed sort of body and neck.
Hello, and which one is this?
He's new. His name is Avery. He's trying to build a large mecha suit.
Oh.
I present him with the full schematics that I drafted up.
I just
The
don't know
chitinous
how much
talons lift
titanium...
up and snap the goggles on the side of his head as before they sort of scatter down with like 7 layers of magnifiers staring down at the schematic.
Okay. Interesting. Fascinating.
On top of these schematics, though, there are like where the specs for the armor plating is, there's a line through its original description and then it says it's full titanium.
or titanite, titanium, titanium. Yes. I formally request access to a tuning fork.
She pulls a tuning fork out of her head, like out of her hair.
Specifically attuned to Mechanus.
I'm letting you know this is kind of funny because she has one.
Oh, yeah.
The kids like to do with hair with tuning forks.
If you are looking to do this, then precise measurements, and specifically precise layout for the measurements, will be absolutely necessary, not to mention refinement methods for getting rid of any impurities. And in the application that you wish to use it, well, we need to maintain a certain viscosity before tempering and even hardening the metal without even damaging the exterior mechanisms.
So our refinery is going to be sufficient, or am I going to have to expand the refinery?
I'm going to to procure a refinery around which precision is its specialty. You pay me enough that I should be able to fund it.
Okay. Just let me know if you need any more funds. If you would, please.
Maybe a cast iron frying pan.
She pulls one out of her bag and hands him a cast iron frying pan.
Fantastic. We spent all night preparing for our breakfast.
Can you do me a big favor and tell me how many 3 Cream are in this room?
Just the 2 of us.
Are you going to lie to me, but considering I can sense the bodies in the bedroom?
Roll me an insight check.
With a natural 20 for insight.
Just the 2. And then there was the statement again that he apparently spent all night preparing for breakfast.
He ate his children.
Quick nature check.
Ooh, 19 plus 8.
Yeah, 3 Kreen are pretty infrequent Underdark dwellers, let alone infrequent encounters as a race and a people. But sometimes they will make a point of, after copulation, not fertilizing the spawn eggs and instead just eating them.
Eating them.
As a sort of recuperation of expended nutrients.
Okay. I'm going to say this. The reason you asked for me to help you find a wife was for you to copulate and produce. If the eggs weren't to your standard, I understand.
That associated mating ritual can last for years before we find a suitable clutch.
Okay.
It's part of how it goes.
Just making sure.
According to my parents, it took over a decade for me to be good enough.
I understand. Very well, sir. Okay, so, when should I see you back again? She pulled out her notebook. When should I see you back so I can make sure that we have the castle in a certain space?
Well, assuming we go around the right potential pathways, well, temporal distortion's not really a thing in Mechanus. It'll be just 1-to-1, strictly speaking, with the material plane. But all that considered in terms of the shopping hours, I wanna say 6 hours.
We'll be here.
In terms of getting the equipment, then maybe a full 12. They like precision. Modrons and everything else.
You said that you wanted to go back for some Modrons so they could actually get some stuff done.
Yes. We program Modrons, of course. If you ever see them out in nature, they're harbingers of some crazy stuff.
Yes, you had to pre-program them to basically help keep the Roth away from the actual track making.
Your brother Griffin has renamed them Roombas. I don't know what that means.
I'll explain it to you when you get back.
Yes.
Either that or Mechanist himself and explain it to you and
he smacks the tuning fork against the wall and immediately disappears through the planar gateway it creates to Mechanus, leaving his wife behind as she just stares in confusion. She walks over, picks up the abandoned cast iron pan.
I'm going to make breakfast too. Are any of you partial to the flavor of over easy 3 green?
No, I think I'm gonna go back to the other area. But you're welcome to come with us.
I have quite a lot. I can pack away a dozen in a box for you.
Go ahead and pack a dozen so I can hand them to Ezekrin.
I lay hundreds at a time.
Just pack up a box for me and I'll take it to Ezekrin.
She hands one already packed to you.
Okay, she takes
These are
it over
large
to
eggs, by the
Ezekrin.
way, each of them like easily the size of a baseball.
She's gonna take him to Ezekrin.
What about you?
She looks straight into your soul, Avery, holding a box of about a dozen insect eggs.
I'll pass.
But thank you.
Of course. Of course.
Angel's gonna take her thing and run. She looks over at Avery. She's like, "That's really weird." But the Mechanist guy's really good at what he does, and he should be able to give you exact schematics now that you've given him an example. So he's a very hard worker. He literally built the metro in 2 years. We had a lot of help, but it was about 6 months of hard work.
When should I return?
6 hours for at least the first stuff. 12 hours for everything else.
Liz, you would think that if it took 6 hours for Aegis, it should take at least 2 or 3 days for a big.
Kind of expediators. Mechanist doesn't like to mince words or take time.
Mechanist likes precision,
exactly.
and they don't
That's
like
right.
to delay.
No, it wastes time.
They
It
are the
wastes time
cosmic
in the
concept of obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Hey,
Not wrong.
just in the relativity didn't quite add up is all I would say.
Right.
Relative
No,
time.
I mean, it doesn't ever, considering Mechanist is literally a one-to-one exchange. Most of the time.
Mechanist is the raw cosmic concept of just precision for the sake of precision.
So, Avery, I'm gonna go ahead. If you would like to take a break today with you and Aiko while you're waiting for him, considering he's very fast and very prompt. So he should be back exactly when he says he is. So he's not like a wizard who's like, "Hey, I'll be back in like a month." You see him 4 months later.
I'll go strip Aegis.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be like,
my
like
God!
naked C-3PO.
Yes. Can he complain like a naked C-3PO, please?
He physically can't complain. I mean, he might write to me, but also probably not because he actually is an extension of me.
Yeah,
No,
strip
that
yourself
was-
naked, except it's not you.
I'm letting you know that Angel looks over at Avery and is like, "Okay, I am going to go deal with my new children, considering the demigods are a little weird."
Sounds good.
Piper finally comes down with a cup of coffee looking like she just died. I got resurrected.
It probably only takes me about half an hour to
She's,
complete it.
technically, Finestra's dealing with Victor and,
Oh, her mentees.
the two mercurial children.
Yeah.
Vinestra said, if Avery wants any armor made for Aegis, Vi can help.
Oh, you can help the
Sounds like
queen.
we're getting a like Mechanist guy to help. My original thought was to go to you.
No. Like, they need more hands. He's always going to need more hands. Even
To
though he's a
clarify what
queen
the
with a
Three
lot of
Queen
hands.
was doing, he was going there to get the precise measurements and the basically formula to do this properly, and then he was going there to get basically the refinery to bring back to be able to even create the alloy in the precise amounts that were needed, and the viscosity needed to actually play.
without breaking the cosmetology.
As
And
far as
so-
actual extra
Yeah.
hands to do that properly, the more the merrier.
I figured that this would be a pretty simple, like, you have this metal, bang each other, bang
No.
one onto another, folded, bang it, like,
While
make some...
no, because titanium is a created alloy, if I remember correctly. It's not.
Vinestra
Is it
said,
titanium a created
yeah,
alloy?
NPCS will solve it.
To put it also bluntly, in terms of the way that this is going to operate later, it's going to basically be bonding this plating to Aegis essentially through basically magical electrolysis.
Oh.
So it's literally setting the tools up for Vinestra that she wants to work with. So
Yeah.
So here's all your
No,
tools.
titanium is a chemical element, so it's... That's what I thought it was.
it is an element.
It's not an alloy. Alloys consist of multiple elements.
Well,
Tin
the idea here is a
is,
titanium gold alloy, of course.
Yes. Tin isn't alloy, because it's aluminum and...
Oh no, tin is a raw element.
Wait, what?
What you're thinking of
Steel is
is
an alloy.
brass or bronze. Brass and bronze
is an
are
alloy.
alloys. Steel
Titanium
is
is an element.
Steel is an
Yes,
alloy.
but titanium is also harder to reach inside of, like, if we're going to talk about titanium mining and what you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's a lot more, it's a lot more extensive.
No, for some reason I had it in my head.
The only reason I know that it's far more extensive because, like, if I remember correctly, there are, like, different types of poisoning from different types of metals. Hold on, let's do this.
Especially heavy metals.
Yep.
Most common, the most common one, most people.
It primarily involves extracting titanium from minerals like aluminite and rutile. The coastal beach areas. Yeah, that'd have to be a lot of drilling. It'd be a lot of excavating.
It's sort of during this debate,
That's why I'm
especially
saying
even at the lunch table, that eventually...
That's why I'm saying I have some, but it's inside of the stupid mountain that I haven't
Yep.
opened. I have a lot of alloys in this stupid mountain I haven't decided to open because I don't know where to put it and I don't want to break the world because the minute I do it, it's going to cause some tectonic plate movement. We already discussed this. You said that I was going to have to decide where to put it.
Yep.
What if you drop it on the ocean so that the water dampens its collision with the actual technologies?
Because that'll cause tsunamis on all shores.
That'll cause a tsunami.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
We're trying to decide where to put it where it could be useful to protect the space.
Without, exploding everything.
I was going to put it near the brain, but Joe's like, you want to put it near there, and it's going to go bad. And I'm like, damn it. Can't put it near the brain. Not a good idea. Good try.
Yeah, Nestra's on something. Titanium's a really
Yeah,
non-allergenic.
My sister has titanium rods in her back.
But it's also really light.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you bend those suckers, it hurts.
She's gonna look over. She looks over at Avery. She's like, it should be here in a while. That way you and Vinestra can work on it, or if you and Mom want to work on it with Vinestra, because the more hands on Aegis, the easier it'll be, and the quicker it'll get done. You could kind of boss around some of my metal workers because they don't have anything to do for the next 2 days other than make some armor.
In terms of figuring out where to put the mountain, you could always try and get a hold of a lodestone.
What will that do? She looks over at him like, what the fuck will that do?
A lodestone is how people make artificial floating islands. They're really
Actually,
not common.
what would be this world's equivalent of vibranium? Because I think that would be, like, what's the ultimate metal?
Ultimate is debatable. There's a couple of magical materials out there. I mean, like there's adamantine, there's mithril, there's various others. And they're all kind of on the same playing field, so they just have different benefits. In terms of just raw, like, absorbing shock, Adamantine's going to be the one that kind of fits that bill.
Mithril would be kind of magic enhancements.
Yeah, they both are. Thinking about it just like in a simplistic sense, as Mithril is
Vinestra said, Mithril is light.
Wait,
I
Joe,
guess,
can
yeah.
you check the messages, please?
Sure.
Wrong. Lodestone and floating islands, guy.
Couldn't we just use the giant turtle shell thing that we got from the giant turtle shell?
The
Can we float the mountain on the turtle shell? We built it with igneous earth or something like that. She looks over at Griffin, looking at him.
You want to put that mountain on the dragon turtle carcass?
Well, at least fill it with earth. We can take the rest of it apart.
The backs of dragon turtles account for small islands. They can account for trees and buildings and things like whole-ass mountains. Not so much. And it's dead, you know. And most of its flesh that would account for its buoyancy is also not there.
Is there like a story about a giant whale that used to carry mountains on its back?
Vinestra
A story,
said,
yeah.
it also connects to the undead realm.
I'm thinking that I might just make his joints out of
Rick,
that gold.
we're on a different topic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Mid-dialogue at the moment.
So, what would you suggest? You want me to get a lodestone?
A lodestone, I mean, they're hard to come by, but, I mean, we're fucking loaded. So, we could put a missive out there and maybe some adventuring party, give it, a few days to a couple of weeks, could procure one for us.
Avery, didn't you want to float around on something and just, like, have a ship?
On a mountain?
I don't follow. I don't remember saying that.
I think that's Cosmo, Megan.
No, he was talking about possibly building, like, a moving pleasure house or something. That was Avery.
I thought that was Cosmo.
They both talked about it multiple times. I'm just confused now.
They're lesser like lodestone
Vinestra
shots
said,
used for
the mobile pleasure
airships.
house.
Wasn't
She
it,
looks over it.
From 3 weeks ago during a RP question.
Yep. And it wasn't Cosmo that was doing it. It was Avery. We were talking about it, but Avery.
Yeah.
She looks. I know. It's been a while.
Been a while.
So she looks over at Avery. Wait a minute. Do I have anybody that would want to live on a mountain by themselves? Griffin, you were talking about an enterprise for your brother to kind of run. Do you want to run the mountain?
Like, do I want to have Vincent run a mountain? Is that what you're getting at, or
What if we put our first theme park in this place?
you want a floating theme park?
Why not?
It's so whimsical, it just might work. No,
It might.
there's a possibility. You still need the magical resource to allow. I think you're jumping a step ahead here.
I know, but I'm trying to think of a reason to use it.
I mean,
Other than taking it out of my pocket. Other than the resources contained within.
I mean,
Considering it's an ancient dragon's hoard.
True. We can. I mean, If you wanted to, you could try to establish an arcane gate to go within the sapphire and access it extra dimensionally. Gets to be a bit of a bitch, but it...
Okay, Joe, could you go to Vincent and Victoria with Venestra while I go to the bathroom, please? And we'll come back to this, but I have to pee.
Sure. Vincent and Victoria with Finestra, huh? Sis. I'm confused with the context for that statement, but either way, Finestra also down here at the sort of lunch area. What kind of are you sort of getting involved with here?
Okay, miss some.
Vinestra said, no real clue.
Yeah, I think Angel, I mean, like, Large was... Brain? Fuck. My brain just kind of stopped all of a sudden.
I know V was mentoring Victoria and Victor on being adventurers.
Right, and that was... Who are they again? Why am I drawing a blank?
Here we go. Reichson's moving brothel. So that would be us.
Okay.
Megan, you're muted.
Okay. I think it's Vincenzo, if I remember correctly. I changed his name because it's too close to Victor, and then him having the name of Victoria because it's a weird situation for them. And it also reminds me of the movie People. It's not okay. So, or the musical Victor Victoria, which is a woman who pretends she's a man and pretends she's a woman.
Victoria and Vincenzo, why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden on who the fuck those are?
They're Bistrus's children. They were born on the island of Lilu. One of them
okay.
is, there were two of them that were younger that had Mercury, but there were also two of them that were twins that were about 10 years old that were born on the same day.
Okay, yeah. All right, so then let's break this down. So, what specifically are you training them in for preparation here, Vinestra?
Mostly etiquette at Limerick, from what she told me, because we were having a lot of trouble with them. Because they're being trouble children.
Ah.
Right now. They're going through their teen years, so it's like constant changes and upsets. She's gonna type out what she's working.
Vinestra said, etiquette, being good moral people, combat stuff too, and other similar lessons.
Okay. So etiquette, I mean, honestly, I'd say the higher your charisma stat, the higher your understanding of manners, at the very least. At least most likely. So, yeah, let's go ahead and call that a tot charisma check. So, go ahead and roll me a charisma check for teaching here, and I'll roll a pair of charismas for them. Just kind of, as long as they land within a certain ballpark of you, that's going to kind of dictate the results there. Okay, well, Vincenzo probably not picking up on it very well. Victoria absolutely picking up on his slack. But we'll see kind of where the initial rolls are to see whether that's
Nat
the case.
2029.
You are teaching immaculately well. And yeah, Vincenzo's having a hell of a time paying attention. Victoria having a much easier time with that. And I'd say that carries over to grant Victoria advantage on the more combatively oriented training, and Vincenzo, since he rolled so low, disadvantage oddly enough.
Technically, their wants and dislikes, Joe. One of them wants to make jewelry, and the other one has decided he wants to make weapons as an adult.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a good job for a person made of pure metal.
Yeah, Victoria maintaining a lot of stark attention on sort of the next set of lessons. Vincenzo's disadvantage, unfortunately, not helping him, as that natural 20 he rolled went down to a natural 3. He's just not having a good day. She's having a great day and definitely picking up his slack. And of course, one lesson that can absolutely be skipped because no adventurer really understands it is financial literacy. So, that one can be glossed over. But, yeah, with everything they're kind of taking in for a lesson throughout the day, they are taking to it at least pretty well based on your instruction, though Vincenzo is just having a hell of a time. He's having a rough day.
Maybe his girlfriend broke up with him.
You say that, and I'm going to roll to see if that happened.
I really want to know if that's what happened, because that just seems like something that would happen to that poor boy.
With a pair of natural 2s, not only was it a breakup, it was a bad breakup.
Oof. Big oofs.
Shouldn't have pretended that you were made out of metal.
And I roll a percentile to actually see how bad.
I came back to rolling for breakup.
Vincenzo had a breakup.
The breakup was bad enough that the next date she approached Vincenzo locking arms with a boy named Chadwick.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, no, she traded Vincenzo for Chad.
Bruh.
How do you know Angel's not aware of this?
However, Angel and Nick alike, being what they are, can feel the raw and festering heartbreak radiating off of the boy.
Heartbreak radiating?
Heartbreak? Yes, heartbreak.
She's totally baking some hearts.
So
Some
baked I
toast
can
nut.
feel it in my heart. Don't you know the song, Don't Go Baking in My Heart?
She looks so. She's like. I just wonder what Minestra's gonna tell him, because it's just like. I lied to her. I told her that I wasn't made of metal, and then she
And I
found
will
out
say
that I
also,
was.
Vanessa, since you've been teaching them all day, you know that news even before Angel does. Vincenzo is not being the most attentive student because his mind is elsewhere.
I have a question. Was he being the one manipulated, or was he doing the manipulating and then it screwed him over?
With those, fuck it. I'll roll another paradise.
Fluffy bunnies.
Oh yeah, no, he was screwed. Not the one that did the
So
screwing.
she's
He was
already-
screwed.
So he was already being duped by Chad. Like right before, before this girl got together, she was dating both of them.
Oh. Oh. Well.
That's what that sounds like.
Don't tell it to his heart, his achy bakey heart.
Oh my god.
He was the jumping pad or the launch pad, sort of straight into Chad's arms. But she spent some time bouncing on that trampoline for a while first.
He's 13.
Yeah, I didn't mean that in a dirty way. Get your head out of the gutter.
Oh god. I'm going to remind you the youngest age for people to have children right now is like 12 to 10.
We're not touching that in this campaign. There is a
Thank God.
Ellen.
I'll go into some fucked up shit. I don't cross the I don't cross the line of child pregnancy.
It's teen pregnancy technically, Joe. It's
13's a child.
Anymore. I wish it was a child. I wish they were seen as children at that point.
In my book, it is. In this game, it is.
Okay, thank God.
Anybody under the age of 18 is a child.
The goddess of this game decree. 13's a goddamn kid.
It's a baby.
It's just a baby. I'm letting you know, Angel just looks over at, like, we'll probably look over, but I can't wait to see what Vanessa's gonna do with this information. I know what Angel's gonna do. Do you want some cake, buddy? It'll be fine.
1,000-yard stare.
Vinestra said, V will just provide moral support.
Moral support. I knew it was gonna be it.
I feel like B would go, there, just patting on his shoulder.
Patting on his shoulder.
Just because the fucking sheer mass and size is just.
Vanestra's a good teacher, Mom.
Exactly, Brick. You look in general.
I'm letting you know that's gonna be so funny. So. What did we get from the hag? I know that right now Violet is just sitting in trouble with Halcyon at this point, and Violet's trying to go through her bag of things to see what she needs to give to the hag that she's friends with, considering that she told her if she killed her, she would bring her at least something.
So again, aside from the limbs and shit that you guys decided to harvest, you, of course, did get the sword, Bitter Edge, which Griffin has currently sequestered away himself.
Mm-hmm.
Though he does come back to you after having taken the time to identify it. So, shockingly, the damn thing isn't cursed.
Are you sure it's not? I'm letting you know. But are you sure it's not cursed?
I'm sure. It just looks fucked, but it's not cursed.
Are you absolutely sure it's not cursed?
I am certain it's not cursed.
Okay.
How do you get rid of a curse?
There's a few methods.
None of them are fun.
No. My least favorite of which involves a really long finger and a really shallow orifice. I'll let your mind chew on that.
I don't need to know what you do with Tangy on Saturday nights.
I'm talking about
Just
removing
tell me.
curses.
Oh, okay.
Not.
That's not what that sounded like.
I'm talking about removing curses, not inducing cursing.
You do remember the one I spend a lot of time with more is Tenzi when we go on our trips, right?
Yeah.
You do know that she has no qualms about telling me what you do in your bedroom, right?
Yeah.
He does to Piper for some reason.
We go with the sister, the actual sister, and Angel's the sister in name only. If that makes sense.
Well, she tells Angel everything too, which is the weird part. But she asks her for different reasons. Is this normal? Is this something that we should be doing?
There's embarrassment when it's tangible family, if that makes sense.
She literally asked Angel if y'all should do it upside down last time.
Whereas Angel's just short and opinionated.
Angel's face just went blank for a minute, like she'd seen a ghost.
That's it. On the subject. As he procures it from the blag. From the blag.
Blag.
From the blag. It's a bag now called the blag.
I think we should take our first 5-minute break here, Joe.
Yeah, I think something went wrong with the circuit board. Is there brain matter leaking out of my ear? I just want to be sure.
Joe, you practiced. You basically got this ahead of time. Go get your drink. Get your caffeine. We'll be right here. Before we have to